The Marvel Universe has collided with Fortnite Island, bringing all sorts of colorful characters, insane power-ups, and cool locations to the game. It seems every day brings us an awesome new thing from the Marvel Universe, and there seems to be no end to them. This isn't the first time these two universes have come together. For the Avengers film Infinity War, Marvel created a tie-in LTM that was as fun as it was challenging. Players would race to find the Infinity Gauntlet as it crashed down to the island. The player lucky enough to stumble upon it first would become Thanos, who housed a variety of different powers. Thanos could deliver a powerful punch that damages players and destroys builds. He could do a ground pound that knocks back players, shoot a laser, and do a super jump. To counterbalance Thanos, players would only find rare, epic, and legendary weapons. Also, Thanos couldn't build or use any weapons, as such things are beneath him. This mode was great fun, and teaming up with random players to take down Thanos was a common tactic. For the film Endgame, a brand new LTM was added to the game. This one brought back Thanos, but he became a leader of a whole team. Players could either spawn as Chitauri or their regular skins. As the Chitauri, players would spawn with Chitauri energy and laser rifles. The first one to claim an Infinity Stone would then transform into Thanos. Their objective was to collect all 6 Infinity Stones, at which point the Heroes team wouldn't be able to respawn. In order to win as the Heroes team, players would need to eliminate 150 enemy players, at which point they couldn't respawn. As the Heroes, you could find a variety of Marvel-themed weapons, such as Iron Man's repulsors, Captain America's shield, Hawkeye's bow, and Thor's Stormbreaker. Each item gave players a unique ability to tear through the Chitauri. Looking back at these LTMs makes us wonder what other Marvel weapons could be introduced into the game that could change Fortnite for the better. These items would take the form of power-ups like the Silver Surfer's board or Doom's Arcane Gauntlets. You'd need to fight a boss or find them at a quinjet in order to secure them. These weapons would spice up gameplay and give Fortnite an even more Marvel-themed experience. Before we jump into the Marvel weapons that will change Fortnite, like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, click that bell so you never miss a video, and leave a comment about what you want us to cover next. Also, don't forget to use code NewScapePro in the item shop. This is NewScapeGames, your source for Fortnite news, leaks, and theories. Spider-Man's Web Slingers. One weapon that would be sure to change up the game in a radical way would be Spider-Man's Web Slingers. Imagine being able to swing your way across the island at record speed, webbing up your opponents as you swing away to safety. That's what we're proposing with the Web Slingers. It would be a mixture of a harpoon gun and a grappler. How it would work is that with a left click, you would shoot out a web like a grappler that draws you closer. Right-clicking would cancel out of this. When you hit an opponent with it, it would momentarily incapacitate them, making them unable to use any weapons, but still able to move. This obviously would be a huge advantage over other players in the game, and would need a hard counter to make it balanced. We proposed that there would need to be a long cooldown time. You could use the web slingers as much as possible for 30 seconds, but it would then take a full minute to use again. Players will remember Jules' mythic lighter gun from Season 3, and these web slingers would fulfill that niche very well. Spider-Man's web slingers are an integral part of the character. Spider-Man invented these powerful tools in order to help him swing around the city. Other continuities have Peter Parker actually develop his web shooters organically, as a side effect from being bitten by a genetically altered spider. The web slingers would be the perfect item to accompany our favorite hero Spider-Man. While the newest update didn't give us a hint as to when we could expect a Spider-Man skin, we will keep our eyes peeled for his eventual arrival. The Tesseract. This item first appeared in the film Captain America: The First Avenger. It's what gives Hydra their advanced weaponry, and becomes the central MacGuffin of the first Avengers film. In the MCU, it is the Space Stone of the Infinity Stones. It carries with it the ability to teleport people or things across the universe. In Fortnite, it would function a lot like an existing vaulted item, the Rift to Go. Players could use it to launch themselves into the sky, letting them glide down to their desired location. Unlike the Rift to Go, you'd get an infinite amount of uses, but with a lengthy cooldown period to counterbalance this powerful ability. This would be a really interesting way to bring in more Infinity Stones and power-ups into the game. We think cycling out some of the existing power-ups would be essential to adding in more power-ups. So the Tesseract could easily replace the Silver Surfer's board. Both of them are based around mobility, and giving players too much power and mobility could be a little disastrous. So how about just one, and make it the Tesseract? The Watcher's Eye. Little is known about the Watcher species. They are said to be the oldest species in the Marvel Universe, predating even Thanos himself. They come together to observe and compile information on everything in the Marvel Universe. So yeah, they know a lot. The most famous of them, Uatu, appeared in the Fantastic Four comic, lending his knowledge to Reed Richards to help fight off Galactus. They even make a cameo appearance in the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. The trick to the Watchers is that they can store information and secrets within their own eyeballs, using some sort of advanced technology. In the comic storyline Original Sin, Uatu is murdered and his eyeballs are stolen. In a climactic battle, his eyes are activated, revealing secrets to all those around him. How would such an object work in Fortnite? Well, activating the Watcher's Eye would reveal enemy locations, much like a flare gun. Just one that doesn't set things on fire. We figure it would have to function slightly different than the flare gun in order for it not to be extremely overpowered. What makes the flare gun not completely busted is that it gives away a player's location. Shooting the flare into the sky can be risky. Players can trace the arc back to you. To port this over to the Watcher's Eye, we figure a beam of light would shoot into the sky when it's activated, alerting enemies to your location. Obviously, you could use the Watcher's Eye an infinite number of times, as it would appear in-game like any other power-up. The cooldown time would have to be significantly longer than other power-ups, given the fact that marking the player's location should last a long time. We figure a 2-minute cooldown, paired with a solid minute of seeing players' locations, would make for a very versatile and useful item. Element Gun. You may not know this given its lack of inclusion in the MCU, but Star-Lord has a really awesome blaster known as the Element Gun. Looking identical to the weapon Chris Pratt wields in the movie, the comic book version has a lot more going on than meets the eye. For starters, only Star-Lord or someone he's related to can use it. Peter Quill was gifted it by his father, the King of Spartax, before he was abandoned on Earth. He kept the weapon close and eventually used it to become known as Star-Lord. The biggest difference though is that it can shoot out fire, air, water, and electricity. The gun could deliver a powerful shot of one of these 4 elements at an opponent, doing some severe damage. It might not need to be as fantastical or involved as some of the other Marvel weapons. Just a simple gun that shoots out a random element at an opposing player. No cooldowns, no hard counters, just a simple gun. If this sounds too complex, you could go for the more straightforward Quad Blaster. This is what the MCU version is called. It would allow players to shoot 1 or 2 high-powered beams at opposing players. Using 2, while doing twice as much damage, doubles the amount of time in between shots. Bringing actual Marvel weaponry into Fortnite would be a fun change of pace. We know we are loving the new Stark Industries rifle, and adding more guns will always be a plus in our eyes. EXCALIBUR. There are many swords in the Marvel Universe that could be ported over into Fortnite. You might not know it, but Excalibur is in fact part of the Marvel Universe. This legendary sword was bestowed upon King Arthur by the Lady of the Lake, so that he could unite Britain. There's also Odin's sword, a weapon that Odin gifted to Thor in order to stop the dreaded foe called Borosun. Finally, there's the all-black Necro Sword, wielded by Gore, the God Butcher. This is actually a symbiote, like Venom, that Gore can control and craft into any weapon, usually a sword. Gore is a powerful Thor villain, and rumor has it that Christian Bale will portray him in the upcoming film Thor: Love and Thunder. Longtime players can probably sense where this is going. Yes, we want the Infinity Blade back in the game. This weapon had a small run in the game during Season 7, in which it was deemed too powerful and quickly vaulted. This blade was awesome. It gave players full health and shield, and let them lunge across the map, wiping out opponents with ease. Yeah, it might have been a little too powerful, but given the fact that there are now several powerful items in the game, We figure at least one of them should be able to balance out the Infinity Blade. Iron Man's repulsors, for example, would let the player keep out of range of the Infinity Blade while still being able to fire upon your enemy. Do you think we're going too far? Let us know if this idea is just too crazy for Fortnite. There you have it. We think these Marvel weapons would really shake up Fortnite and give us all a little taste of the superhero life. There's still plenty of time left in this season for Fortnite to roll out some big changes, and hopefully we'll see at least some of these items find their way into Fortnite. What do you think? If you could choose any weapon from the Marvel Universe to include in the game, what would it be? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell button so you never miss a video. This has been NewScapeGames, your trusted source for all things Fortnite. Thank you for watching.